Prime Minister David Cameron earlier today after the slaughter of a British soldier by two Muslims in broad daylight.
Well, thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Francois, for your welcome. But above all, thank you for your support and your solidarity with the British people in the light of this appalling murder that has happened today. I've been briefed by the Home Secretary about this absolutely sickening attack in Woolwich in London. It is the most appalling crime. We obviously are urgently seeking, and the police are urgently seeking, the full facts about this case, but there are strong indications that it is a terrorist incident. Two people at the scene of the murder were wounded by the police, and they are being treated as suspects. The Home Secretary is chairing COBRA tonight to bring together the police, the security services, all of the agencies, so that we gather every piece of information that we can. The police and the security services in the UK will get all of the support that they need to deal with this or indeed with any other incident. I'll be returning to London later tonight so that I can chair a COBRA meeting again in the morning to make sure that we have all of the facts of this case. Tonight, our thoughts should be with the victim, with their family, with their friends. People across Britain, people in every community, I believe, will utterly condemn this attack. We've had these sorts of attacks before in our country, and we never buckle in the face of them.
You know who won't condemn it? Muslims. You know who else won't condemn it? Barack. You know what Barack's going to do? He's going to come out and tell us how wonderful the Muslims are because he does it every damn time. Muslims are the fabric of the nation. Muslims are great people. Really? Because every time I turn on the news, another Muslim is blowing somebody up in this country. Every time I turn on the news, if we're lucky, we catch them with a bomb in their underwear or in their shoe trying to light it, or in Pioneer Square where they pulled up a van, a Somali Muslim, 19 years old, pulls a van up to what they call the living room of Portland and tries to blow the whole place up on a Sunday afternoon while the families are gathered. Or then you got the one from Pakistan. Notice how they're from all over the world, and the only unifying element is their religion? Yeah, that's important. And he pulled up to Times Square, and he had his van, and he tried to blow it up, but he was too stupid to know how to do it, because we're talking about countries that can't figure out running water. And then, need I remind you, they tried to blow up the subway system right outside the Pentagon. Thank God we caught that guy, because he was on forums trying to connect with other people so he could figure out bomb-making materials. Sure, we'd love for you to come here as a university student. Sure, we'll pay all your bills. Sure, if everybody doesn't hire you the minute you want to be hired, we'll lecture them because they don't love your Muslim ass enough. And then the minute you're tired of living here and some imam fires you up, you blow the place to smithereens, our president will lecture us for being pissed off about it. Well, screw you, Barack Obama. I know that you wrote about your Muslim past. I know about your sympathies. I know about your world tours, and I know about your apologies. Let me tell you something. I don't care what pisses these people off. I don't. I'm tired of them attacking innocent citizens. But, Michael, what you're doing there, trying to kill people in Pakistan, I'm just as happy leaving those crap holes to themselves. Pull every soldier we have out of Afghanistan. Pull every soldier we have out of Iraq. Pull every soldier we have out of every Muslim country and leave those rubble pits to them, because they can't do crap. And you know what else? Here's the other part of my foreign policy. Pull every soldier and every company we have out of the third world cesspool of underarm pit hair that is the Middle East, and explore for our resources here. Drill, baby, drill. And then you know what we can do then? The Syrians can kill each other. The Iraqis can kill the Iranis. The Palestinians can overrun Jordan. They can push them into Lebanon. They can all kill each other. I don't care. I really don't care. It is not my fault that these people spend all their time outraged over the fact that we've actually been able to build a civilization, and they're still looking back at the 1200s before we figured stuff out. I am tired of trying to empathize with these people as they slit our throats. Need I remind you of Daniel Pearl? Need I remind you of how many Americans have been frog marched in front of a camera as they sit around and slit their throats? Need I remind you how many bombs have gone off and have been attempted? Need I remind you of the pronouncements made by CARE of what good, honest, decent people they are? And then we find out they're funneling money to more terrorist organizations. These are people that throughout North Africa and into France and Great Britain, these are people that throughout the Middle East and Afghanistan, these are people that throughout the Khyber Pass in Pakistan and parts of India. Need I remind you of the gruesome scene that was the Taj Hotel in Bombay, where the Pakis sent these Muslim insurgents in, and they blew it up, and they kept citizens from around the world holed up hostage as they tormented them. Need I remind you how many people are slaughtered in the name of Islam daily? Need I remind you how women live in their countries? They're not allowed to vote. They have to wear beekeeper outfits with little holes cut because they're so afraid somebody's going to look at them. Need I remind you how many little boys are diddled by their leaders? Need I remind you of the fact that there's no contribution made to the rest of the world by that entire region of people, and that Israel applies for and receives more patents per year than the entire Middle East, Pakistan, Afghanistan, and the other Muslim countries east of them combined times 5. Need I remind you of these things? At what point? How many people do they kill? How blatantly? How many people take to the streets with our flags and burn them? How many $1 billion do we send? At what point do Americans say, you vote for $1 of aid to another one of these damn countries, and I'll never vote for you, Mr. Republican? No, we're not sending in my neighbor so that he can go in there and get shot up and come back with PTSD where we won't give him any good. No, we will not tolerate Nidal Hassan, November 5th, 2009, slaughtering Americans at Fort Hood, and we will not call it workplace violence. And if the president's going to, we'll storm the damn White House. We are not going to have the American people have their face peed upon by these people and Barack Obama in the name of tolerance, because the only people tolerant are us until they kill us. And I'm done with it. I'm sick of it. It's not nice. It's not pretty. It's not progressive. It's not civilized or sophisticated. And the little Bill Maher's sit up there. And you know what? If they could get his little sawed-off Jewish ass alone for about 5 minutes, they'd butt rape him and slit his throat, just like they did to our American ambassador in Benghazi. We're talking about beasts. We're talking about animals. They butt rape their male victims before, or if they have to, afterwards. A level of gruesomeness, a level of violence, the likes of which we have never witnessed. We don't do these things. These are animals in the wild. These are buzzards. This is sick and disgusting, and it's typical. And what are we doing? We had our national security advisor under Barack Obama informing us that jihad was actually not something we should be afraid of. It's a tenet of Islam. How many Americans did we sacrifice in Afghanistan because we had to burn the Quran that they had defiled by sending messages to each other about how to kill us?